Hey girls, I'm heading out to go to my son's baseball game, but I thought I'd pop on really quick and just show you guys how I do my eyebrows. Now, most of you know they're tattooed, but because I apply my foundation and I kind of get it all over my face, my eyebrows like kind of camouflage in. So then I like to go back with like my angle brushes and some dark shadow and just kind of like make them a little bit darker, a little bolder, because the foundation just kind of, I use full coverage, so it just kind of like takes them right off, camouflages them in. So anyway, I use this little tiny MAC angle brush, and I actually use two different angle brushes for my brows. So I just go into a really dark brown shadow, and I first start by just kind of, because the shape's already there, I'm just kind of like tracing them, you know, so I have a really good guide. So I first just start by kind of the bottom line, just tracing that. Now, even if your eyebrows aren't tattooed, this is still a technique for just darkening up your brows. So you can see already there's a big difference between this one and this one, just kind of redefining with some shadow. I know a lot of people like eyebrow pencils. For me, they tend to skip too much when I'm like trying to draw it on. So I just always stick to an angle brush and a shadow. Plus, I feel like it's a little bit of a softer look than a pencil is. So now I'm gonna go with the top. I don't like to start right at the very tip though. I kind of start like a little bit back. And same thing, I just kind of am tracing her line from my tattoo. So now, I always like a little more of a square start here rather than round. So the best thing to do is to just take like a pencil or your angle brush and just hold it on the outer corner of your nose, and that's where your eyebrow should start. So right there, I just kind of tap a little straight up line because I want it to kind of look like hair, right? So just skinny little lines or taps. But now I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in down here by just doing little tiny strokes in between my two outer lines. And I want to actually take that top line and kind of tap it because I want it to blend out a little bit. I don't want it to be quite so harsh. So I'm just kind of blending and tapping. I'm not doing long strokes. I'm doing mostly just like tapping little rubbing strokes. And then right here at the very tip, I like this one is more of a rougher texture angle brush. So I use this one to kind of do the beginning or the first part of my eyebrow by just kind of little hair stroke tapping again. But it's because this one has a little bit more of a rougher texture, this brush, I get more of a softer look. And I don't mind it being a little bit more thick and filled in back here, but at the beginning of my brush, of my brow, I want it to be a little bit more softer. And then I kind of just blend in again. So you can see there's a pretty big difference having, you know, one just kind of a little bit more defined and the one that has foundation all over it. And then I do like to go back with my foundation and a little brush. Now I just kind of wiping a little bit of foundation on my brush. And then I use this to kind of go in and just draw a really nice defined, you know, it's how you define your brow, by just kind of going your foundation right underneath there. Take a different shadow brush there, and I'm just going to kind of blend that foundation in. So it's just a little bit of a difference. You can see that it kind of just highlights the underside of my eyebrow and just kind of perfects it a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll show you guys.